Here's a list of the most powerful women in tennis right now, and why the 2026 Australian Open is completely reshaping the WTA rankings. As of January 20th, 2026, the WTA rankings you're seeing are live, and the numbers are moving fast. That's because the Australian Open works on a 52-week rolling points system, meaning every player must defend the points they earned in Melbourne last year. Do better than 2025? You gain points. Match your result? You hold your ground. Do worse? You lose points. Sometimes a lot of them. And today, we're breaking down exactly how the Australian Open 2026 is impacting the top 10, starting from world number 10 all the way to number 1. We begin at world number 10, Ekaterina Alexandrova. Alexandrova currently sits on 2,983 live points, but she has already lost 392 points in Melbourne. That drop comes from the fact that at the 2025 Australian Open, she exited in the first round, losing to Emma Raducanu. Even with a relatively early exit last year, failing to improve in 2026 means those points disappear. For Alexandrova, the rest of the season becomes crucial if she wants to stay inside the top 10. At number 9, it's Belinda Bencic, with 3,282 live points. Bencic has dropped 230 points after being unable to defend her fourth-round finish at the 2025 Australian Open, where she was beaten by Coco Gauff. For Bencic, this loss tightens the race around her ranking position. One strong tournament swing later in 2026 could push her back up or send her sliding out of the top 10. At world number 8, Jasmine Paolini holds 4,207 live points, having lost 60 points. Her 2025 Australian Open run ended in the third round, where she fell to Elena Svitolina. Because her points to defend were smaller, the damage is limited. But in a tight top 10 race, every point matters. Paolini's consistency will be key if she wants to hold this spot through the season. Next up is 18-year-old sensation Mirra Andreeva, currently number 7 in the world with 4,561 points. She has dropped 170 points after failing to match her fourth-round finish at the 2025 Australian Open, where she lost to Aryna Sabalenka. Even with the point loss, Andreeva remains one of the most exciting young players on tour. And if you're enjoying these deep dive breakdowns, this is a great moment to hit subscribe. At number 6, American star Jessica Pegula holds 5,393 live points, with just 60 points lost. In 2025, Pegula exited in the third round, losing to Olga Danilovic. Because she didn't go deep last year, the Australian Open 2026 hasn't hit her as hard as others. That makes Pegula one of the most stable players in the top 10 heading into the rest of the season. At world number 5, Elena Rybakina currently has 5,620 points after losing 230 points. Her 2025 Australian Open campaign ended in the fourth round, where she was beaten by Madison Keys, a name that keeps popping up in this ranking shakeup. Rybakina's power game means she can quickly recover points, but this early drop adds pressure for the upcoming WTA 1000 events. At number 4, Coco Gauff sits on 6,063 live points, having lost 360 points. Gauff reached the quarterfinals of the 2025 Australian Open, where she was defeated by Paula Badosa. Failing to repeat that run in 2026 has resulted in one of the bigger drops inside the top 5. Still, Coco remains firmly in the elite tier, and if she finds form later this season, she could quickly climb again. Coming in at number 3, Amanda Anisimova holds 6,320 live points. She had far fewer points to defend after a second-round exit at the 2025 Australian Open, where she lost to Emma Raducanu. Because of that, her ranking has remained relatively stable despite the chaos around her. Anisimova is quietly benefiting from consistency, and sometimes that's all it takes in the WTA system. At world number 2, Iga Świątek has 7,618 live points, but she has suffered a significant 710-point loss. In 2025, Świątek reached the Australian Open semifinals before losing to Madison Keys. Not defending that deep run in 2026 has caused a major swing in her total. This is where the 52-week system hits hardest. Big results bring big rewards, but also big pressure a year later. And finally, world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka currently holds 9,760 live points, but she has lost a massive 1,230 points, the biggest drop in the top 10. At the 2025 Australian Open, Sabalenka reached the final, where she was beaten by Madison Keys. Failing to defend a finalist run almost always leads to a dramatic points hit, even for the best player in the world. She remains number 1 for now, but the gap is shrinking fast. And that's how the 2026 Australian Open is reshaping the WTA rankings in real time. These are live points, and every match from now until the end of the 2026 Australian Open cycle will determine whether these players gain, maintain, or lose their ranking positions. If you want weekly breakdowns, ranking predictions, and behind-the-scenes tennis stories, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks.